99X, it's Barnes and Leslie. We're back. An impromptu visit with Ed Bastian, the CEO and CEO of the year of Delta Airlines. We called him because I met him on a flight, and he said, call him anytime. And Leslie said,
unbelievable.
Don't
So
do
thank
it.
you.
Yeah, glad you called.
You know what? You're such a nice guy. I figure you wouldn't care that I'm interrupting one of the biggest companies in the world in the middle of your workday. But, I mentioned in the last segment, if you didn't hear it, catch the podcast later. It'll be up. So I want to ask you a hard question, and I hope you don't take offense to this.
Not at all.
I want to represent the frustration of people like me who sometimes you show up and the Sky Club is just jammed, overpacked. Are you guys addressing this in any way?
Oh, absolutely. And listen, I share that frustration. We are building more clubs. We've opened 5 clubs this year alone, from Kansas City to additional club at JFK to building out two new clubs over here in Atlanta, as well as other parts of the country. We are adding additional features, including a touch and go, where if you get to the club and it's crowded, you don't want to go in, you just want to grab something and go and continue on through the day. We're making that option available to you as well, and we're working to continue to expand capacity. The challenge we've had is we've built a great product and people love it, and that's great, and we're doing our very best to kind of keep those lines moving, and they're getting better, by the way. Last year was really, really crowded, and as we go past that, and I don't even go into the clubs anymore because I don't want to take any space away from customers like yourselves, or, by the way, our employees, unless they got a paying ticket that they're in the club membership. So we've really done our very best to make certain that we're putting our customers first and giving them the product that they deserve.
Well, thanks for not getting mad at me for asking that, because I felt like I had to say it, because people have been frustrated, and I'm your biggest frequent flyer ever. I am so in the pool, it's crazy. And one of the funny things on the plane, I said to him, I'm like, this is my 9th year diamond in a row, and he looks at me and says, well, that's great, because I'm gold. Ed Bastian is gold on Delta. Love it.
Yes. Well, thanks for addressing that. I did want to ask, are there any tips, like the best day to buy tickets?
Oh, good question.
I get that question all the time, and honestly, there's really not. And in the internet age, and digital age, prices are moving all the time. It's a bit of an old wives' tale.
Really?
A different question to ask would be, when are the best days to fly in terms of finding good pricing? Because there are definitely different times of day and different days of the week when our demand isn't as strong. Obviously, if you can avoid traveling in the busy business peaks, whether it's on a Sunday night, Monday morning, Friday afternoon, those are the times when the demand obviously is quite healthy. It's not just business, but everyone, looking to get on with their weekend. But if you got some flexibility in your schedule and you want to fly on a Tuesday morning or a Wednesday afternoon, I think you're going to find a lot more availability, and as a result, a lot better pricing.
That's a great tip, because Clark Howard always for years would be like Tuesday at noon, and then I started hearing
did say that,
Saturday at noon. But that's so interesting. I never thought about those off days.
And in the past, there was some truth to that, because that's when schedules got loaded. But right now, we're on a digital world, and our pricing is transparent, and it's always out there. So it's more when you fly as compared to when you purchase.
I always pull up the multi-day thing. Like, I put in my dates like around it, and I do see a drastic. Like, a couple of them are super. It may be 80,000 miles, one of them, and then it's like 17,000 miles, like on another little block, which is great. Talking to Ed Bastian, Delta CEO. Who is the most famous person? We've asked this to our listeners before. Most famous person you've ever flown next to on one of your flights?
Do not say Steve Barnes.
Other than you?
Hey. I didn't say infamous. And I was a good customer. I was very quiet. Had my headphones.
You behaved well. I noticed there was a little bit of snoring going on, but not too bad. Wasn't too disruptive.
I feel like maybe, Leslie, he did wink to the people serving the alcohol and said no more for him. But I don't know that as a fact.
Cut him off.
But I think something. But who would it be?
I've flown with a lot of interesting folks. It'd be hard to say. I'll tell you the most interesting person that I've ever met was the Pope last year, and I had an audience with the Pope.
Wow, you went all the way to the top.
But I kind of go right to the top, exactly.
Wow, that's impressive. Not on a plane, right? You had audience with him?
No, in the Vatican. Yeah, he had a private audience with him, and I'm pretty good at talking. I was speechless pretty much when I saw him. It was just pretty amazing.
You've never been surprised, though, to get on one of your planes and go, oh, wow, Reese Witherspoon's sitting next to me?
I have had, rock bands and, football stars and a bunch of folks. So, it's part of travel. You run into all sorts of interesting folks, and like a lot of the more interesting people are actually many times not the famous people. It's just people that want to start up a conversation, and I learn about them and I learn about their loyalty to Delta, and it always provides me an encouragement to continue to keep our company strong.
I mean, does the CEO of Delta ever get to go on a vacation?
Yeah, I do. There's always some work probably ascribed to it, but I was over in, as Steve knows, we went over to France together, and I was able to grab a little bit of time in Monaco and in Cannes, and I had some work obligations too, but that was nice. And at the end of this month, I'm going to be going out to Park City, Utah. I've got a little condo out there, and this is where I like to get refreshed and get some clean mountain air and get out of the hot and the humidity of the Southeast. It's always helpful.
Man, I can't imagine your day and what your calendar must look like every day.
Well, you've kind of put a hole in it today.
I'm sorry, everybody.
Yes, the fact that you talked to us for 15 minutes is incredible.
It's your fault. You said call me anytime. Okay,
I know, and I appreciate that, and that offer is always out to you guys.
Well, let me know when you want to golf, Ed Bastian, and also before we let you go, and I know you have more important things than to do this. I want to mention this documentary that you have that I saw on flight about the struggles that Delta had. If you're going to fly anytime soon, it's called The Steepest Climb. I just thought it was really cool. Was that your idea to do?
Yeah, we went through an epic battle, as everyone did in their own way through COVID, and it knocked our business to the knees. And we worked really, really hard, to keep our customers safe, keep our people safe, keep our business protected. And it's hard to believe here, 3 years later, we've got the strongest operations and demand set and revenue base that we've ever seen in our 100-year history. So the team's done a great job of bringing the business back, and I wanted to capture just what we had to go through in order to reclaim our opportunities and our company for, one, paying tribute to the heroes of Delta who made that happen, who enabled that, and secondly, for all the next generations of flyers and employees that come to work at Delta to realize what it took to get the company where we're at today. So, and it's a gripping documentary. I tell people I'm glad I know the ending, because I don't think I could watch it without knowing the ending. It's
so good.
A little bit of a tearjerker, but it's got a happy ending, and it's a huge tribute to the people of Delta.
Well, I had Matt C. pull a clip. I'll take us to break with that. But thank you for coming on.
This was incredible.
I know it wasn't scheduled. You probably have 30 people you have to go through to get you on the show. But you did give me your cell phone, and I appreciate you not killing me for calling you.
Thank you.
That's okay. It's good to talk to you, Steve and Leslie. Hope you guys have a great day.
Thanks, Ed. We'll see you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Here it is. Check out this documentary. This is awesome. The Steepest Climb. Here's a little clip from it.
China shut down. And then just watching Korea, Italy, the rest of Europe.
There is a certain moment where you're like, oh,
Delta had never faced anything like this before.
There was nobody in the airport.
I'm the only airplane. I'm like, this is not going to be good.
You're literally looking into an abyss for which there is no roadmap.
We're bringing in $150 million a day, and we watch that go from like 150 to 80 to negative in the span of like less than a week.
There was real fear that the entire air travel industry could end up in bankruptcy within a matter of months.
Dr. doctors, nurses, first responders, they were not traveling because they wanted to. They were traveling because they had to.
It reaffirmed that this is really an essential business.
The Morning X with Barnes and Leslie.
How you nerd? 99X.